Guys, welcome back to my another amazing episode. Now today in this episode, again we have someone who is very special, very knowledgeable, and he works on a cruise line. And trust me, this episode gonna be very useful for all of the doctors. Yes, today we have Dr. Carlos in this episode, and let's find out about his journey, how he came to cruise line and how long he has been working, and find out how you can join cruise line as a doctor. So let's listen to him, and guys, don't forget to watch this episode till last, because today Dr. Carlos is gonna share so many things which are very important. Let's meet Dr. Carlos. Dr. Carlos, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to this episode. I think this episode is going to be really interesting.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for this invitation. It's really nice to have the opportunity to give a little bit of information about what we do, how we come here, and the experience that we have on board.
So, Dr. Really Carlos, nice. I think my viewer, and especially you, are the first doctor on my episode on my channel, because so far we have been shooting people those work on a cruise line as a bar waiter, as a waiter, or as a manager, but you are the first person who is a doctor on a cruise ship and who would like to share knowledge, experience, and especially all the requirement what a doctor need to have in order to join cruise line. So how are you gonna take this? How are you gonna start with it?
Okay, let's start to introduce myself.
Okay.
So the people can understand who am I.
Okay.
Then we can move forward to explain a bit about what's the cruise ship's medicines.
Okay.
Then we can talk about the requirements.
Okay.
I think they will be interesting to know a little bit about how is our life on board.
How is our doctor life on board?
Doctor life on board, which is different from others. Very different. And let's go with that, and then I will try to make this very interesting so they can join the company.
Oh my God! So
this is very nice.
I think you are the best, and you are the best for yourself. You introduce yourself and you take this episode up, because I'm not gonna ask you so many questions, because frankly speaking, my knowledge about in medicines is very limited.
Okay.
So you go ahead, doctor.
I'm not going to talk about chest pain. Well, let's see. First, I'm Carlos Treviño. I'm from Mexico.
Okay.
My background is internal medicine and cardiology. I have both specialties. I did it in Mexico, and I have been for a long time. When I finished the last one, it's already 29 years old. So if you go 12 years before that, that means I have a lot more than 30 years in the medical file.
So 30 years on cruise ship, or 30-year total medical practice?
Practice will be probably around 32, 33.
32, 33.
On board the ships, only 10 years. More than 10 years now.
More than 10 years on board the ship.
So I'm not young people on board.
But you're still very handsome, doctor.
Oh, thank you very much.
This is salt pepper look, you know.
This experience, no?
This is
and this is more experience.
This is prosperity, right?
Yes.
This is prosperity.
Happiness. Yes, so well, that's my background.
Okay.
But for sure you are interested to know why I am here, no?
Doctor, I think, I really would like to know that what makes you to join cruise line, because I think being a doctor, and when you work on a land-based hospital or a clinic, I think, to become a doctor, first of all, you need to study a lot. And then, as I'm aware of with my really limited knowledge, that you have to keep educating yourself every single day, because medicines are getting updated, the technologies are getting updated. So basically, doctors never stop studying or never stop inventing with just to keep themselves with the latest technology. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. We're still studying a lot to keep updated, because we have a lot of things here to do, a lot of treatments. Yes, we need to keep updated. I will tell you a little bit more about that. First, I came on board. Well, I was working as sole doctors in the land. I was working my private practice, basically. And I was doing some administrative job as a medical director in the pharmaceutical industry. In the mornings and the afternoons and nights in my private practice. Which was very successful, but you know, the 50 years old crisis, you are a little bit far from that, but you will, someday you will have it. At that time, you are not happy what you are doing, and you want to do something different. But you don't know. Most of the people, they just pass the 50 and continue doing the same. In my case, I was fighting with that. I said, well, it's time to take a sabbatic year and start from zero again. So I decided to do something different for 1 year. And I applied to be a medic in the helicopters, in air ambulance, and I have a friend working the cruise ships. I sent my CV, and suddenly they called me for the first company. After the interviews, exam, they said, yes, we are interested in you. And then I wait 2 months, 3 months, something like that, waiting to come here.
2 months you were waiting to come to join the cruise ship.
Yes, and they said, nothing will happen. But suddenly I received a good call. Doctor, you are welcome. I need you in 2 weeks on board. So I was running to do all the paperwork. And then finally I reached my first company. And I start sailing the ships. December 3rd, 2018.
So 2013.
2013.
You said 10 years. So it's like 11-year experience with cruise line. How many cruise line company you have worked so far?
I have been in only two.
Two cruise companies.
4 years and a half in one, and the first one, and now have been in this company for at least will be 6 years. In the middle of this year. So then, as everybody, I go happy to join the ship, and so the first impression, you are walking in the pier and you see a big monster there. The ship. I said, are you sure you want to go in? And I was, no, I don't want to go in. But there was no chance to go back, so I continue. It was a very nice experience, because I walk in, I don't have any idea what was the ship, where you want to walk. And suddenly I was like, lost in the sea, looking towards it, and I saw a lady, I remember, Filipino lady, from the Human Resources Department. Hey doctor. Me? Yeah. And I started. Was like a few months training as second doctor, and then I was moved to another ship. Now with all the full responsibilities as a second doctor. And I started growing.
Doctor, when you joined first time cruise line, how many soul on board? How many total people on board? Guest and crew, because you're responsible for every soul on board, right?
Yes, we are responsible for guests and crew. The first ship was around 3,500 guests and around 1,200 crew. So it was like around almost 4,000 and a half.
4,500 soul on board, and you were responsible because
a big ship, big hotel. When they had the emergency, I was running. I don't know why. I was checking the map to understand when I need to run.
I think, because being a doctor on board is a huge responsibility. Because end of the day, so far things are going right, I think nobody would like to meet you. But when things start going wrong, trust me, you are a very important person. We're gonna talk about this later on, because I really want you to share some episode and incident, I would say, where how important it was for you and for the company and for the ship to you be on board ship. So before we start with that, would you mind sharing what kind of documentation, what kind of training, what kind of certification you need to have, if we compare from the land-based hospital to the cruise ship medical services, what is the difference?
Okay, first of all, we need to understand that the cruise ship medicines is part of the emergency room association from the US.
Okay.
The American Emergency Doctors.
Okay.
There is a chapter for the cruise ships.
Okay.
Okay. So talking about that means that the most of the doctors on board, there are emergency room doctors.
Emergency room doctors.
So, let's see, will be around probably 90%.
90%.
There are few of them, very few of them, general practitioners with a lot of experience in emergency room.
Okay.
Okay. We are very few internal medicine. I can tell you I know only 2 others and myself. And cardiologists, I know only 2 also.
Only 2.
Another one and myself.
Okay.
Okay. So and there are also some intensive care units, intensive care doctors, and that's it. Okay. So we need to have we need to prove that we have that paper, that have our certificates.
Okay.
Okay. First, the certificate as a general physician, then the certificates for our training, and also that you have the border approval to work.
Okay.
In
Or
your country.
approval to work.
Okay, and your license. Your license is very important also. Then after that, you need to have extra training. You need to have the training of basic life support and advanced life support.
Okay.
I mean to give CPR.
Okay.
And all that. And also in most of the companies now, they are asking to have the advanced trauma life support.
Advanced trauma life support. Okay,
yeah.
That's also a requirement now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the basic paper that we need, which is a lot. Okay.
Okay.
Then after that, you submit the papers, and they will be usually you need to do the interview, and they usually the exam.
Okay.
They ask you special cases how you will manage.
Okay.
And then after that, they will approve you to come on board. Okay?
So this exam happening online, or it has to be done?
No, usually it's via Zoom or Skype.
Only on the Skype.
Yeah.
Or, so it's basically they are asked situational questions, right?
Yes, they ask you, okay, how you have a patient like this and that, what will be the management?
So what will be your act? What will be your action? What will your respond? Right? So this kind of situational question they ask you, so they can make it out if you are fit to work on cruise ship,
right,
and deal with this kind of emergency or not.
And we need to remember something. We are not only the doctors, we administrate our medical centers, a small hospital. We really have a hospital here.
Yes.
So we administrate that. So you need to have the skills also for administration. We are the head of the departments.
Okay.
If you compare to the work on land, if you work in the hospital, in the public or private hospitals, it's completely different. But you have always somebody to do the work.
Yes.
But if you have your private office, your private practice, it's similar. You are in charge to be sure that you have the medication, that you have the paper, you have paper for the echocardiogram, that you have this, that you have that. You need to administrate the working hours from your team. Okay, so that's, if you compare it, something similar. We are responsible for everything to organize our team.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you like to give little bit information about a cruise ship clinic, or I would say medical center? What kind of facilities in general they have?
Okay, as I told you, we need to follow the requirements for this American Association.
Okay.
So there is a list of medication, disease of equipment that we need to have.
Okay.
So usually the hospitals, because this is really a small hospital, you have a reception. Some ships they have and companies they have reception for guests and crew separately. Most of now the ships they have the same one area. Okay, so you have a reception. You have the front desk. Okay. You have a small place for do the lab tests.
Okay.
So we do the normal lab tests: CBC, chemistries, liver tests.
Basic lab, and just
acute cardiac markers, or you can do the dimers. Okay.
Okay. This kind of
enough to solve and find what's happening. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have in the small lab, and then we have all the ship. We have the intensive care unit.
Okay.
In the intensive care unit, we have, of course, monitors. We have defibrillators. We have ventilators to do aspiration. We have equipment there. Okay. Then we have the small emergency room when we put casts, we put splints. We can take X-rays on board. We have an X-ray machine.
X-ray machine
okay.
on board.
It's very good. Most of them now, they are not. When I came on board, imagine how many years ago,
11 years
you used to have a small black room.
Okay.
When you put the old ones, remember you put in one liquid, the other liquid, and then you say, oh, it looks terrible. Take it again. Now it's different. Now everything is digital. So now you receive something now in this era, you receive the X-ray in your computer.
Okay, I think these are the basic requirement. I believe so. All the medical center on cruise ship need to have.
We need to have also a ward when we have 2 or 3 or 4 beds to keep patient there. We have my own office. We have a pharmacy also.
Okay, and I think these are the requirement as per the American Association.
Yes.
As per their requirement, right? So okay, so I think guys, it's very clear. Doctor, whoever is watching this, if you would like to have more detail about what is the requirement and more in detail, I think you go through that American Association chapter which doctor just mentioned, and everything is very crystal clear there, and then you have a better idea what you are looking forward in case if you're looking for a job on cruise ship, right?
Right.
I think this is the basic thing. So doctor, if I compare a land-based hospital or a clinic and if I compare a cruise ship, how different it is?
Okay, the first difference, here we don't have traffic.
So you are always available.
When you have the emergency, you are very quick.
You are very quick.
When you have the emergency at home, they go, oh, my patient is going to the emergency room. You call them to the hospital, and it takes time to take the car to drive to the hospital.
Okay.
Here, no traffic.
No traffic.
Only traffic in the elevators. Could be.
Because you are always available, right?
Yeah, so the difference between working in this hospital and the other hospital, you are alone. You are alone. Probably in some ship you can be 1, 2, or 3 doctors.
1, 2, 3 doctors.
So you can discuss with them, you can solve the problem, but always we have the opportunity to have the telemedicine.
Okay.
So in some companies you have telemedicine, so you can contact the trauma center, explain the case, send the X-rays, send the lab tests, discuss the case. Okay, that's always an opportunity.
That's okay.
Okay. But let's see, it's very few cases that you really need to discuss.
Okay.
Most of the time we have everything, and you have the knowledge to do it. But
okay.
The difference from the land is, call the gastroenterologist for gastritis. Okay. And they come, they do the treatment, and then the bill.
And the bill. And the same time the bill, right?
And here it's the same bill, but you treat them.
You treat them, right? Okay.
So, of course, you have, if you want to go more deep in what's happening, of course, we need to send the patient to the hospital. So if you need MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, yes, we need to send it ashore.
Yeah, because that is different from the land-based hospital to cruise ship, because I believe cruise ship has response team, has so many things, but they have certain limit to do certain things, right?
But I can tell you, in my experience, 95% of the cases you can manage on board.
You can manage on board 95% of cases. So this is the difference. So I believe if somebody has a good experience and good knowledge and good practice from the emergency room, from the hospitals, he is absolutely fit to work on a cruise ship.
They can.
Right?
Okay, the other difference, of course, we are far from the family.
Yeah, that's true.
We are far from the family, so we need to deal with the internet. Now the internet is very nice. 10 years ago, you want to do a conference call by Skype, or forget it.
Yeah, and I think now most of the company, they are giving very good internet.
Now the internet changed, so you can be more in touch with the family. And what other difference? Well, you have more people around in the hospitals, and here could be, depends of the size of the ship, 3 doctors, 5 nurses, to 1 doctor, 2 nurses.
Yeah, maximum, I think, doesn't matter how big the ship size is
one
how many?
doctor, one nurse. Some very small ones, they have one doctor,
One
one
doctor,
nurse.
one nurse. So you start from one doctor, one nurse to 3 doctor and 5 nurses, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maximum 8 to 10 staff. That's if we talk about a huge and a big ship, right?
Yeah.
A big cruise line.
Right.
Okay, I think doctor, this is great. So far you have been sharing this knowledge. I think that's really gonna be helpful for so many people, so many doctor who's looking for an opportunity to work on cruise ship. So doctor, I think so far we talk about practice and difference and certification. What about the life? Do you think your life is far more better if you compare from land-based hospital on cruise ship?
Well, no, it's not easy to live to have a good life on board.
Okay.
Okay, you need to like it. You can come because it could be good morning or not good morning, the experience, traveling, whatever. But at the end, I think all of us, we are a little bit crazy to be able to work in the ships. I believe that.
Doctor is saying something.
Yeah.
But don't take it seriously. It's mean to say crazy. That means you become workaholic.
You're workaholic here.
Yeah.
Because we have working hours, but always we have something to do. We have training. We have this. So we are busy all the time.
Okay.
And you need to rest and go to sleep early. Well, not early, but around 10:30, 11, because you don't know the next day or that night it will call you in the middle of the night, and then you need to be working all during the night.
Yeah.
Because here we work 24 hours plus 24 hours for 7 days of the week during the time that we are on board. So we are available all the time. Okay?
Yeah.
But at the end, the life is good.
Mm-hmm.
In the company I have been, the food is good.
Food is good.
Yeah.
Somebody is cooking for you always.
Somebody cooking with you. They do my cabin. They clean my cabin.
They clean your cabin,
Yeah.
clean your laundry.
Yeah. In some companies you can play pool, you can play ping pong, and then sometimes you need to stop playing because there is an emergency, but well, you have the opportunity. So I think the life is good. Which is best, the life in the land? And on board, depends. If you talk about family, all will be doing the land. But if you like the experience, the risk that we have all the time, the adrenaline, yeah, it's here.
It's here.
Yeah, because we are ambulance, paramedics, we are the hospital, the doctors, so we do everything.
So doctor, I think, I have a question, I think, and I'm sure so many doctors gonna have this question. So after working so many years on cruise ship, and if you decided to go back to the land, hospitals or clinic, do you think it's easy to adapt or adopt that atmosphere again?
Well, I think will be not easy.
Won't be easy,
Not easy. Not easy. Why? I continue working. When I'm on vacation, I continue working in the land. Okay. Because sometimes it's too much time free, so you need to do something. But at the end, we are a little bit more free here. If you go there, you need to take a seat in the office, looking for the patients all the time. And if you don't have patients, you need to be there.
Yeah, you need to be present.
Yeah, you need to be present. And here, if you don't have patients, okay, let's see what I'm going to do. I don't have to try having 30 minutes training. Oh, let's go and walk.
Yeah,
and then you walk in the open deck, and you go to visit. You know me. Hello, how are you, my friend? How is your day? And then after, oh, it's time to go. You go to the training, but you are close, right? So in case you need to go back to the land, I cannot imagine spending 6 hours in a small room. I would be crazy.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
And the traffic is terrible.
No, I think I understand your point, and I think that's related to not only your job, with everybody's job. Because while we work on cruise ship, everything is so set and so planned, because you know in next half an hour what you're gonna do, right? But I think when you work on a land, either it's a hotel or a hospital, I think sometimes you need to be there because you need to be there, right? But on ship, you can plan your day, you know what's going to happen, you know what you can do, you know how you can change. So as you said, it's important that you like this job.
Right, you need to like this job. All the companies will tell you, oh, you will travel and you will have the opportunity to visit all. That's not really true. When you are free, you can go outside, but you really you need to like this kind of life.
So, doctor, okay, now I understand liking is very good, and liking is depend on every individual.
Yeah.
So when you say about liking, how you can convince or how you can tell someone who is watching this video that you like it because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reasons?
Yeah. First of all, is the opportunity that you have. You take your own decisions, not only in your specialty, also in another one. For example, in the ship that you have kids, you are not a pediatrician, but we have the knowledge when we were GPs, and then we need to take care about the kids.
Okay.
So that if you really like to do something more than you finally study, because we are like in a small world. I'm cardiologist, internal medicine, small world. And then you need to move a little bit more like orthopedic, because we need to put splint, we need to treat fractures. So if you want to move a little bit for this comfort area and to do something different, this is the first thing that you like. If you don't like and you are happy in this comfort area, small well, it's not for you.
So you mean to say working on a cruise ship as a doctor is like you are in a real ocean of knowledge?
Yes.
Right?
We are a little bit focused in everything, because you see tonsillitis, you see, as my specialty, you see arrhythmias, you see atrial fibrillation, cardiac attacks, whatever.
Yes.
But also you need to treat a small infection here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay? Or a toothache. In the meantime, you can reach the dentist, because we don't have dentists on board.
Right.
So if you don't feel comfortable doing other things, it's not for you. If you feel comfortable doing extra, more than your final knowledge, yes, this is the work.
I mean, on board ship, if you are a doctor, you are responsible for every single sickness which is related to your human body.
Yeah.
End of the day, right?
Right.
So that is one thing you like about it, because you like to do this kind of thing. You like to learn more, you like to practice more, you like to have this kind of exposure where you see all this kind of thing. That is one reason. What is other reason?
The other thing is we follow protocols.
Okay.
We follow policies, and you know, this is like a military.
This is like a military,
this is like a military. So if you cannot follow rules, strict rules, if you cannot ask your team to follow strict rules, this is not for you.
Okay.
Okay? Because in case of emergency, we have the drills and practice and practice and practice. We work as zombies, or reaction what we were training before.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you are in panic because you cannot manage, this is not for you.
This is not, because you need to be calm and you need to be ready every time for every single situation, right?
And also for the medical treatment, you need to follow the guidelines. Okay?
Protocol.
So you need to follow, be very strict with that, because we have patients from all around the world. And remember that the litigation in the medical field is very common. Okay? So this is another thing.
Okay.
What else? Yes, the doctors. We are. Yes, you said we are very important in the ship. You know why, no? The ship cannot sail without the doctor.
Yes, I know.
But
guys, remember, ship cannot sail if you don't have doctor on board.
So if you arrive late, if you go outside, and you arrive late, the ship will wait for you. But the next port, you are fired.
Listen to this. So if you arrive late on one port, ship will wait for you. Ship will hold and let 5,000 people wait for you.
Yeah.
But next port, you will be replaced.
You will knock the door in the morning. Can you pack, please? Security guys there. And well, one captain said, "Well, doctor, if you don't come, don't worry. I will ask the guests if there is any doctor on board. I will give the opportunity to work, and let's go." So, okay, yes, and we're very important. And the other things, you need to understand that we have a lot of limitations.
Okay.
Not only in the medical work, not only that. We cannot drink on board.
Zero alcohol.
We cannot do skydiving.
No skydiving, guys, as a doctor.
We cannot dive. We cannot drive motorcycles.
Okay.
We cannot drive bicycles.
Okay.
Because we are important for the ship. If something happened to us in the islands, the ship is in problems. The itinerary is in problems. The company is in problems. So also you need to understand that. And if you cannot follow that, forget it.
Forget it.
Okay? Of course, there are a lot of things we can do outside when we are in the ports that you don't need to do that things.
Okay. Yeah, it's not necessary to drive or to ride a motorcycle or do crazy thing, go dive from a building or dive in a pool.
Yeah.
I think those things, a doctor said you cannot do it, and the reason being very simple, because you are a doctor on board and you are very important, and they don't want anything happen to a doctor, because all the souls on board, they're dependent on one person, that is doctor. So doctor, now these are things which you enjoy doing it, and you follow the protocol. That's why you have been working on ship from last 11 years. So doctor, what about contract length, salary, working hour? You being a doctor, that you have to be available 24 hours, but that doesn't mean you're working 24 hours, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We need to be in the medical center, depends of the company.
Okay.
You need to be 2 hours in the morning to 4 hours in the morning, 2 to 4 in the morning, and 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Depends of the company.
Okay.
Some companies are 2 to 2, some companies are 2 to 3, sometimes they are 4 to 4.
These are medical hours.
Yes, medical hours for clinic, only for sick patients.
Okay.
Plus that, we have to do the administration. That will be 1 hour, 1.5 hours more than that. We have trainings. We have the drill, the normal drill plus extra drills. Okay, you have training online. You have meetings online. So at the end, we work around, let's see, 7 hours per day.
7 hours.
Or 6 hours per day, 7 hours per day. And of course, sometimes they are a little bit more. But you are on call all the time.
Yeah, because you have to be available all the time. You are on call all the time, right?
So that means that you have bad luck that day. You finish, for example, at 11. You have your lunch, and then they can call you at 1 or 2 o'clock noontime, see one patient, and then you start at 4. You finish, for example, at 6. You have dinner, and probably they can call you at 9 o'clock again, or in the middle of the night.
Now you talk about the working hour. I think this is general hour, but end of the day, you are on call all the time.
Yes.
In case of any emergency happen, doctor has to respond immediately. I think within certain minute, doctor has to be next to the patient. I don't want to talk about how many minutes, but yes, doctor has to be next to the patient in certain minutes. That's the response time on cruise ship. So that means you need to be alert 24 hours. So basically you're getting paid for 24 hours, not for 7 hours, right?
Right.
So doctor, when we talk about, I don't want to know your salary, frankly speaking, and neither my viewers, but I think they really would like to know, because I think they're comparing right now apple to apple. Working on a land-based hotel, in a hospital, I don't know why I'm saying hotel, because I'm a hotel background, that's why I'm saying hotel. So working on a land-based hospital or a clinic, and working on a cruise ship in a clinic, if we talk about benefits, if we talk about salary, if we talk about life, somehow you have given an idea about the life.
Yeah.
I think they really would like to know about salary. If you compare, do you make more money on ship or back in a hospital?
Yeah. First of all, we need to understand that we are contractors. And we are contractors because the litigations. Okay, we are not part of the companies. Okay, we are contractors. Then, this is the first one. The second one, if you work in the public hospital or private hospital, of course you do more money here.
Okay.
But if you have your private plus public or only private, you do the same.
So you mean to say,
not too much different, no.
So you mean to say, when you work on a land-based hospital, plus the clinic, plus the visits on certain hospital, so basically you work every day 13-14 hours and you make that much money what you make, the same money you make on ship.
Right.
Am I right?
At the end of the month, yes.
End of the month.
Okay.
But then on a cruise ship, I think is certain other benefits, right?
Yes, the benefits are different. For example, we don't have a retirement plan.
Okay.
So you work in the land, you will have it. Or you work in the ship, you can pay for your own retirement plan.
Okay.
Okay. But on board the benefits are very good because we are in the high level of the officers.
Yes.
So that we have a good food, a special food. Some cruise ships the doctors go to the captain mess.
Mm-hmm.
Other ships we can go to all the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, asking for not for permission, but it is space available for us. Okay.
But doctor, I think this is when you are officer on ship,
Yeah.
I think this is the basic. Everybody get it.
Yeah.
But I think being a doctor, I think you also have certain. But obviously, you have a very good accommodation. You have
we
a
have
very good cabin. Right?
We have always a big cabin.
Mm-hmm.
In other companies, you can have a cabin with a nice office,
Mm-hmm.
so you can work and rest there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So in this company, we have a very good cabin with a good windows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It depends on the size of the ship. Certain company they have a small cabin. Certain big company they have bigger cabin. When I used to work with a bigger ships, I have a cabin with 2 rooms. I had a living room and I had a bedroom. In my living room, I had an office too.
Yeah.
So
that was nice.
Yeah.
And also the benefit, you can bring your family
Yeah.
in your cabin.
Yeah, as a doctor, you are allowed to bring your family on board. I think unlimited. Your family can travel with you.
In some companies, it is like 1 month per year, 2 months per year, depends on the companies. And other companies, they give you the opportunity to have all the full contract.
Full contract. Yeah.
But the benefits, you have the top of the benefits on board.
Do you fly with the economic class or a business class?
Economic class.
Economic class.
But there are companies, the doctors travel in business class.
Okay.
Okay.
So
also depends of the company. No? and some companies before they used to travel in business and then they moved to economic.
Okay.
And others, it was different. They were traveling economic and they want to keep the doctors and they move it to business. Because after during the pandemic, some doctors decided not to come back again because we have a really bad time working. We have a lot of things to do. We have a lot of problems on board that you need, not only from the medical problems, the administration, the people don't want to be in isolation, so it was difficult. So after the pandemic, there were some benefits in other companies trying to keep the doctors there. But at the end, okay, I travel in economic, but I have the opportunity to operate by myself with my money, so it's good.
Yeah. Doctor, what is the contract length for a doctor?
Depends of the companies. There are companies that you are working 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Other companies you work for months. And then vacations period could be 2 months or 10 weeks or 1 week, 1 month and a half. Okay. Depends of the company. But usually the first contract in most of the companies is 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah, which is a lot.
That's a lot. 5 months being working on a ship as a doctor, and especially if you have many emergency situation, I think is really tough, right?
Yeah.
Because you really get exhausted and tired. So, doctor, when you work on cruise ship and you go for vacation, are you getting paid for the entire year or you getting paid for while you're on board ship?
Depends of the company.
Depend on the
There are companies, they give you much better salary, but you have only payment when you are on board.
Yeah.
And when you're the 2 month vacation, you don't receive any salary.
I think they just balance it out. They give you higher salary while you're month on board. They don't give you anything when on vacation. But the other company, they balance it and they divide into all 12 months, right?
Right. And there are some companies that the salary is not good. It's lower than that one. They have the full year. And they have 4 months on board and 2 at home. So yeah, you need to understand which company are you going.
Okay.
And don't worry, you don't receive any salary during vacation, but just be sure that your salary will be high. But I prefer 1 year salary continuous with a good salary.
Yeah, I think that makes
because then
more sense.
You forget that you need to earn money, and you know that you will have it every month, and that just is
you plan your whole year, because you know that you're gonna get your salary every month, There's nothing to worry about. And I think, doctor, we talk about contract, we talk about contract length, we talk about salary, we talk about the life on board. Any drawback you would like to mention? That being doctor on ship, what is the one drawback?
One. Well, the worst case scenario is when you have a very, very injured or very ill patient that you suffer to keep him stable. In the meantime, you can reach support. That made you have white hair, lose weight, because the stress is high. Besides that, no, I don't have any. I don't complain about nothing.
Okay. Any biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge, yes, when you know which will be the port that you are on, the sailing that you're going to do in the next cruise, you need to understand how far or how close are you for the land, and how long or how many hours or days you will be out of range of everything, and then you need to face the problems on board. That's the big challenge that we have. Okay, and the second one could be to manage your team.
To manage your team,
because sometimes you have a good team, sometimes you have someone is not the best and destroy the atmosphere there.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge that we have.
Doctor, I have a last question for you before we finish this podcast. See, when we work on land-based hospital or in our country, we work with one nation, that is your own nation. But on board ship, you work and you treat 45 to 50 different nationality.
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult sometimes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Yes, because I learned in these years that every nationality, including the Mexican nationality, we're different.
We are different.
We're different. There are some nationalities when they feel sick, they feel sick and they go to sleep and rest. Even they have a common cold or a knee pain.
Or a knee pain.
Okay. Others, they can do everything. They feel strong, and they are in more risk sometimes because they force a lot. Then the language barrier.
The language barrier.
Oh my God! Speaking English from US is different from UK, is different from New Zealand, and Australia. Australian, New Zealand, UK
and
is similar.
Indian
In
from
India,
Latin America
is different, and the slangs from the US, depending on the region when the guests are coming, sometimes it's a little bit different, and you need to be adapt to understand what they want to tell you. Sometimes they understand what is vomit, for example, and others said, "Oh, I throw
up."
So you need to understand that. And you need to understand different cultures. It's not the same when you have a Filipino, that you have somebody from India, and you have from Serbia, Albanian. It's different.
Very different.
The feeling and how the illness or injury affect them is completely
different. I think all of us, we all from different nationality, our body react differently. Right? Because the way we have been, our bringing up is different, what we eat, that make lots of difference in a human body. And I think our strength, our weather, our culture, that's make us very different from other. But end of the day, we all work together, 45 to 50 different nationality, and we stay under one roof in one ship.
But you know something funny?
What is that?
When you receive a guest that don't speak English.
Okay.
I have cases from Korea. I have cases from China.
Okay.
Cases from Croatia.
Okay.
And I used to Google Translator.
Okay.
To do the assessment.
Oh, wow. I think, doctor, today we really talk about really very, very important things. And I think this discussion, this podcast gonna help so many youngsters and so many doctors who would like to have a career on a cruise ship. But I believe so our discussion can go up to 3 hours, 4 hours. But I think it's a time to end this podcast. But I really want my viewers that please write down in comment section, ask your questions, and I think, on basis of your question, we can have another podcast.
Yeah.
But it's all depend what kind of question you would like to have. Today, the knowledge what we have shared, this is a very basic knowledge, very basic, which probably everybody would like to know. Do you agree, doctor?
I completely agree.
So I would say thank you so much. It was a great podcast and
Thank you very much.
amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.